I'll figure out everything else later. Let's set it up. What number are you? One?
We are 22S Radio, the next wave of K-Beach. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM KKJZ HD3 Long Beach, Los Angeles.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and now, our World Broadcasting Tag Team Champions of the World.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Rob.
And this is episode 68 of Beyond the Ropes? 68, 69?
67, I think.
No, 67 was last week. Or the week before.
Was it?
We don't know. We've officially...
I think we're just off by one, right? Because I posted the one of the outside one, right? There was only one after that.
There's two after that.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're 68. We're 68 episodes in. It's officially the fourth week of school, and we are already done with everything. Losing our minds here.
It's all on the homework. I blame it on the homework.
Yeah, I have some big assignments to do within the next couple of days. But anyways, as always, you can give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes, where we post additional content, including our fantasy booking, which we will discuss later on in this episode.
Yes, you have the Undisputed Era, like, everywhere, Dominic.
Well, you know, it's building stories and characters. So
I know,
we'll get into
it still should have been raining pancakes everywhere.
We'll see what happens. But you can also find our videos there that we record. Rob was saying we had some technical issues with our outside edition, which was pretty fun. But hopefully next time we'll do a lot better with that one. But of course, you can give us, you can join us on YouNow with the hashtag AskQuestions. Currently, we are not on there, but Rob is logging us on right now. And you can follow us on Twitter at EthanMV95 and
Rob Flores Media.
And you can find all our videos on YouTube, youtube.com/Rob Flores Media, correct?
Yes.
And just search up Beyond the Ropes and you'll find us there as well. So I'm looking up some results. There was a big pay-per-view this past weekend. The Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, not my Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, but the real one. And it involved some pretty big, explosive matches. So we're just going to review and kind of recap the show there. For the kickoff show, it was for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The New Day took on Rusev Day of Aiden English and Rusev. You predicted Rusev Day would win, correct? You wanted them to win. Well, that was not the case, however. New Day ended up retaining. And I don't know if you heard on SmackDown, but it looks like Rusev Day is no more.
What?
That's right. So Rusev had a United States title match against Shinsuke Nakamura. After he lost that match, Aiden English attacked him and beat him up after Lana was about to reveal to Rusev some negative things that he said about Rusev and Lana. So we got to see a bit of a heel turn from Aiden English there. Looks like Rusev Day is officially over. Next up, opening the card of the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, Randy Orton took on Jeff Hardy in what was a brutal match. There was ladders, there was tables, there was chairs.
Oh my.
Yeah, definitely. And there was a screwdriver at one point that went through the earlobe of Jeff Hardy. It was absolutely gruesome. It was disgusting. And it was everything you kind of wanted in this match. By the way, the Hell in a Cell structure was red. I don't know if you saw that.
Why?
They added red instead of its normal like silver color.
I wonder if they're trying to say it's because SmackDown's gonna have their own thing. There'll be a blue one.
I don't know, but it was actually really cool looking. I think it added to kind of the pay-per-view aesthetic.
I mean, if they're gonna do that, they should bring back the old school blue cage.
Yeah, that was something that people brought up on Twitter during that when they revealed the cage or the cell. But anyways, getting back to the match, Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy back and forth. It was pretty gruesome. Randy Orton lost a piece of his skin from his thigh. It was literally hanging from his thigh during the match. It was pretty nasty looking. You can find it on Instagram, I'm sure. And ultimately, Jeff Hardy said that he was going to do something memorable. And he definitely did. I don't know if you heard what he did.
Didn't he crash on the
Yeah,
table?
so he's going to get on one ladder, a small ladder, and then hop over it, over a larger ladder, and fall onto Randy, who was on the table. Well, he realized that he couldn't do that because then he would hit himself on top of the cell. So he got onto the large ladder and started climbing from the top of the cell and started swinging and did a splash onto the table, and Randy Orton ended up moving. So he fell pretty much face first
What a memorable fail.
on the table, and he ended up losing the match. So Randy Orton picked up the victory. I don't know who we predicted. I don't remember who we predicted there.
So Jeff would fail. It was
I think
exactly that way.
I think we did say that. I was expecting him to jump off the cell, but that was a little bit too much to ask for, I guess, especially considering how the main event went. Next up, a phenomenal match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Becky Lynch took on Charlotte Flair. You predicted this correctly, because we got a new SmackDown Women's Champion. Becky Lynch was able to overcome the odds, and she finally got her moment. This was a great back and forth match. However, Becky Lynch was able to overcome by really attacking Charlotte's arm, and Lynch won with the roll up. Charlotte was too weakened by that point to kick out of it, and Becky Lynch is the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Great match, by the way. For the Raw Tag Team titles, probably the match of the night. Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre defended against Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
Exactly.
This was match of the night, without a doubt. Definitely check this one out. We had a lot of great matches this week on television, but this was definitely a standout for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. The finish saw Drew McIntyre or Seth Rollins setting up Dolph Ziggler for a suplex, and then Drew McIntyre hitting the Claymore onto Seth for Ziggler to pick up the victory to retain those Raw Tag Team titles.
That's what Seth gets for wanting to go to associate with Roman. Come on now. Roman's gonna be the new Brooklyn Brawler, hopefully.
On your brand, on your fantasy brand, you would do that, but not on my brand. But for the WWE title, AJ Styles took on Samoa Joe. Great match. They gave this one plenty of time. They gave a lot of these matches plenty of time. This is what you would expect from a Styles Joe match. So I don't remember if did you predict Joe would finally win?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
AJ. Get that belt.
AJ retained. However, it was a controversial fashion because Joe had the Coquina Clutch submission on, and AJ was able to reverse it to get a pin. However, right before the referee counted to 3, AJ started tapping out. However, he was not in the view or sight of the referee, so the referee counted to 3 and declared AJ the winner. And we did not see AJ tap out until it was shown in a replay. But we can confirm that AJ Styles will take on Samoa Joe at Super Showdown in 3 weeks in Australia. Or it's about 2 weeks now from tomorrow in Australia, so that should be a great match. And next up, The Miz and Maurice defeated Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella. This was the right way to go, in my opinion. Miz is picking up victories over Daniel Bryan and getting one over on him. They're going to have a number 1 contenders match at Super Showdown in Australia, and where the winner will compete for the WWE title at some point. So
I've been hearing the word crown jewel going around lately.
we're going to talk about that when we get to Raw right now. But yeah, it's a solid match. Kind of what you would expect from this mixed tag match. Nothing spectacular though. For the Raw Women's Championship, Ronda Rousey took on Alexa Bliss. This was a bit more of a match than I think most people expected. Bliss was attacking Ronda Rousey's ribs throughout most of the match and had the advantage for most of it. So she gave her best effort, but of course Ronda Rousey made her submit to that armbar, and she retained the Raw Women's Championship. So in the main event for the Universal Championship inside Hell in a Cell.
We get the most random questions. Ethan, puppies or kittens?
Kittens.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, of course we are now on Live Me, right?
Yeah.
How do they find us there?
Live Pro Wrestling Talk Show.
Awesome. Special guest referee Mick Foley. He really didn't play a factor in this match. Braun Strowman was dominating. However, toward the end of the match, their counterparts, their kind of partners, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler came out, and they all ended up going on top of the cell, and they were all brawling on top of the cell. Dolph and Seth ended up falling from the side of the cell onto tables, and Dean and Drew were somehow never seen again. They were stuck on top of that cell, I guess, for the rest of the match. But then we heard the music from the Beast incarnate. Brock Lesnar is back. He tore down the cage door. Paul Heyman hit Mick Foley with some mace. He blinded him. And Brock Lesnar just assaulted Strowman Reigns, and the match ended in a no contest.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Paul Heyman Mick Foley match.
That would just be totally one-sided. But as you mentioned, should we get a commercial? Let's get a commercial break in first before we go into Raw. So let's take a commercial break.
Real quick, answer this question apparently. How many times did you hit the snooze button usually when you finally get up?
I don't have a snooze button, so
there you have it, folks.
There you go.
Okay.
Interesting, hard-hitting questions right here on Beyond the Ropes. We'll be right back.
Did you know that Long Beach State ranks 5th nationally in upward social mobility? Our student-to-faculty ratio at Long Beach State is just 26 to 1. And Long Beach State's beach pantry has reached 6,408 students. At the beach, we know no barriers. It's a philosophy that applies to everything we do.
Did you know that more than 20% of students on Cal State campuses experience food insecurity while in college? Cal State Long Beach is doing something to help that with the beach pantry, which is located on the 3rd floor of the Student Union in room 302 and is open
You already
Monday through
asked that
Friday, 10 a.m.
question.
to 2 p.m. and again from 5
Puppies
p.m.
or
to
kittens?
7
You
p.m.
already asked that
Stop
one.
by for some food, snacks, and school supplies.
Tune into Fronte Radio 22 at 11 a.m. on Wednesdays for Chicano-oriented music and discussion, hosted by yours truly, Serene Gallardo.
And we are back with what we believe to be is episode 68 of Beyond the Ropes. Could be wrong about that, but I don't know. We'll figure it out one of these days. We'll get it right. As we were talking about before we went off to the commercial break, you mentioned Crown Jewel. WWE is heading back to Saudi Arabia in the beginning of November. I believe November 3rd. I could be wrong on that date, but it's beginning of November on Friday. And it will be WWE Crown Jewel. Already confirmed is Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship against Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman in a triple threat match.
I just find it funny that they have to mention the word crown when, I got WWE Monarchy coming up.
Well, they stole my idea from the Hell in the Cell with it ending in a no contest in the main event. So I don't know. I feel like someone's watching us or listening to us. Because it's very coincidental that they have our ideas on their show. So either that or we're really good at what we do. So, but I won't credit us that much.
You never know, they'll probably bring that King of the Ring tournament there.
It's possible. They did have the Greatest Royal Rumble there, so they're promoting like 3 pay-per-views at once. They have Evolution, which hasn't really gotten much promotion lately. The all-women's pay-per-view happening the same week as Crown Jewel, actually, which I don't think isn't by accident, because obviously last time they were in Saudi Arabia, there was controversy that there were no women involved. Obviously, the traditions and rules are different in Saudi Arabia, so that's interesting. That's an interesting note to point out. And plus, you have Super Showdown happening in 2 weeks, so that's a lot going on. And then you have Survivor Series after that. At the end
One
of
of the
November.
greatest pay-per-views ever.
Definitely a good one, but WWE is promoting 3 pay-per-views. We've got so much television to watch. There's 205 Live, NXT, the Mae Young Classic is happening. Obviously, Raw and SmackDown. Let's talk a little bit about Raw. Some keynotes. Drew McIntyre and Dean Ambrose had a great match. McIntyre ended up getting the victory with a Claymore. The team of Bobby Roode and Chad Gable seems to be growing. Gable won in a singles match, defeating Victor of the Ascension. However, Connor attacked both of them after the match, so it looks like we're getting a continuation of this feud. Bayley defeated Dana Brooke. Nothing really to note there. AOP once again with Drake Maverick defeated some local enhancement talent. Interesting tag team.
You know, it'd be really something if the Ascension somehow gets the push that I'm going to give them.
Well, well, if they don't get it there, at least you'll give it to them. So, Seth Rollins ended up defending the Intercontinental Championship in a rematch. You know, Dolph Ziggler cashed in his rematch clause, assuming that Seth wasn't going to be fit to compete after what happened previous night. However, he was wrong and ended up losing to a curb stomp. And Seth Rollins retained the title. Probably my favorite moment of the night. Bobby Lashley versus Elias ended in a no contest. And we got to see Bobby Lashley's manager, Leo Rush, come out, cut a great promo on Elias. He was a commentary for a few minutes until Kevin Owens came out and was looking to attack him. And you can find this GIF or GIF on Twitter, the entire segment pretty much, of Leo Rush running and hopping around the ringside area, avoiding Elias and Kevin Owens. And then it's great. And then you see Bobby Lashley saving him from a powerbomb on the apron. And he throws him outside of the ring, using him kind of as like a weapon, which is hilarious. And I really like this pairing of Leo Rush and Bobby Lashley. It's great.
I think it's something though how it took years for Vince to, you know, let go of his old ways of, like, you know, his reservations about having a manager around. And I'm kind of worried because, you know, how old school is he going to keep staying? Because I hear he's going to be in charge of Evolution.
Yeah, that's interesting. Evolution is a very... It needs to be carefully planned out because it's the first all-women's pay-per-view in the WWE. And a lot of people are going to be looking at this pay-per-view as kind of a milestone. It is a milestone. So you need to be careful with that. As far as managers are concerned, part of the reason Paul Ellering is no longer with the Authors of Pain on television is because he did not want Ellering as a manager. He did not want managers. Ironically enough, you know, 6 months later, he pairs them with Drake Maverick. But I think this is good for 205 Live. I mean, you have Maverick, you have Leo Rush appearing on Raw. They're essentially promoting kind of their biggest stars on the 205 Live roster on their biggest program. And I think they're putting good use to them. And I think it's only going to help 205 Live. Especially since 205 Live is now on Wednesdays. And it looks like it'll be like that moving forward. So hopefully it brings good news for the brand, the Cruiserweight division. Roman Reigns actually defended the Universal title against Baron Corbin after Corbin put himself in the match. However, Roman Reigns obviously retained. Were you able to catch the Mixed Match Challenge?
Mm-mm.
Season 2 of the Mixed Match Challenge began this week. I did not watch it. Try and watch it at some point, but essentially it was the team of Charlotte Flair and AJ Styles taking on Jimmy Uso and Naomi. Styles and Flair won. And then on the Raw side, it was Natalya and Kevin Owens taking on the team of Braun Strowman and Ember Moon after Alexa Bliss was revealed to be injured due to numbness in her arm. So hopefully it's not serious and hopefully she can recover very soon, especially with the Evolution pay-per-view coming up. She has to face Trish Stratus. So hopefully, you know, best wishes go out to Alexa. Hopefully she recovers just fine.
Hopefully, you know, there's more, you know, women from the Attitude Era that can still go that will be available, because this is pretty interesting. I mean, 2 names pop up, you know, Molly Holly would be great, and Ivory.
Yeah, no word on any other matches. I mean, we did get Lita versus Mickey James is happening at Evolution, Trish versus Alexa Bliss, and then we have 3 women's title matches, the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT women's title matches, which have not been announced yet. And then we have the finals of the Mae Young Classic, which again, we're in the middle of finding out the 2 finalists. So it's interesting to see where they're going to go from here. A brief recap of SmackDown. Not a whole lot happening. We got the announcement that The Miz will take on Daniel Bryan at Super Showdown. Winner gets a title opportunity. Cesaro defeated Kofi Kingston after hitting a neutralizer. So it'll be The Bar versus The New Day at Super Showdown for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Obviously, I mentioned the U.S. title match already, so we don't need to get into that. In a great match, this was, again, another match of the week. AJ Styles took on Andrade Cien Almas. Phenomenal match. AJ was able to hit a roll-up and then pick up Andrade to hit a Styles clash, kind of deadlifting him pretty much. It was an incredible moment there. But Styles ended up getting the victory. As announced, we're going to get more of Styles and Joe. Asuka defeated Billie Kay in a singles match. We're going to get Naomi and Asuka versus the Iconics at Super Showdown as well. And at the end of the night was Becky Lynch, kind of her celebrating her title win at Hell in a Cell. Charlotte came out. She asked or demanded Charlotte to come out in order to congratulate her. That led to a bit of a brawl. Becky Lynch got the upper hand and ended the show, carrying that title over her waist, or over her head, excuse me. So that was kind of this week in a nutshell. The Mae Young Classic happened. Did you hear the results for the first round? Okay, so try and bring those up as soon as possible.
I hear Madison Rain signed with Ring of Honor.
Really? That's big news. I did not know that.
1-year deal.
Okay, good for her. Yeah, she lost in the first round of the Mae Young Classic, which is a bit of a shock to me, considering she's a veteran and she's kind of a big name. I mean,
Way
people
to
know
drop
she was.
heat on whoever her opponent was there.
Yeah, I forgot who her opponent was. I'm blanking right now, but yeah. So that happened. I'm trying to find some results here. In other news, apparently, before we get to, I guess, Mae Young, as I find that, Rey Mysterio signed a 2-year deal with WWE. Apparently, that's a thing that happened. I'm gonna look up the information here. It's like no word, no confirmation by WWE, but apparently let's see what happened. So according to PW Insider, Mysterio signed a 2-year deal with the company. He was able to get a clause in his deal that would allow him to give notice after 18 months, because I guess originally he only wanted an 18-month contract. But Mysterio has said publicly that he did not want to work a reduced schedule, so he could allow his body. That he did not want? I think that might be an error. I think he did want a reduced schedule, but there's not much else to discuss there other than that's pretty big news.
I'm surprised he did that, but I really like the unique contract that Alberto had when he came, where he literally, when he says, "I quit," like he's gone. Like there is no amount of months to get out of him or anything like that. When he got that special contract, that was like one of the unique contracts of the business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't remember much about that.
And then Marty Elias is officially gone from Lucha Underground.
Marty Elias is gone, really?
Yeah.
That's big. I wonder what he's going to do next.
He asked for his release.
Huh. Well, he can't appear on TV until his last appearance on TV. It's like 3 months after his last appearance on Lucha Underground is when he can officially show up on another TV show for a wrestling company. So that's part of the problem with Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. They were rumored to appear or sign with WWE next year. That's not the case, because apparently they're going to be in Lucha Underground television for the next year. And so they can't sign until 2020 with WWE. So
You mean a bunch of pre-tapes or what?
yeah, it's all pre-taped, but they can't appear until they're off, till 3 months after their last appearance with Lucha Underground. So that's pretty crazy. First round match, the returning of the Mae Young Classic, the returning Caitlyn took on the first female Indian wrestler in WWE, Kavita Devi. Decent match. Caitlyn ended up getting the victory with the spear.
Speaking of Indian, remember I forgot his name, from TNA. He was a really great superstar, and I thought that he was for sure gonna be on television in WWE, and they just let him go.
I knew he wasn't. I was not a fan of his work.
But I mean,
I didn't buy it.
Wow.
Mahabali Shira was his name in Impact. Yeah, they released him. He was there for 6 months, I believe, on the Performance Center, and then
He was poorly used. I mean, he was used great in TNA. He was like, once they had their tour in India, like he was pushed properly, and I thought WWE was going to capitalize on what happened.
I don't know. I was never really a fan of him. I've seen some of his work. He still needed training, obviously, which is why he was at the Performance Center. But clearly there was just no backing from him.
It's so sad. All he did was live events. Like, he had such potential.
Probably, but I think WWE has a lot of other Indian known talent as well. Obviously, with Kavita Devi being the only female currently on WWE television. And there was actually a couple other Indian wrestlers in the crowd during that match. So it looks like they have a certain amount of talent already. And plus, they keep signing so many people. Like, they eventually do have to release some people.
Somebody says sup, and another says couldn't agree more.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I guess you're agreeing with me, but I don't know. Toni Storm had a match, I believe, against Ginny. I could be mixing matches, but I believe it was against Ginny. Great match. Toni Storm advanced. She's a really well-known individual, Australian, and funny moment in that before the match started was the Iconics being in the crowd, kind of cheering on Toni Storm, and it was just funny that they had kind of a little interaction there. And in the main event, Mia Yim took on Allison Kay. This was kind of a frenemies match, as they kind of pointed it out. Mia Yim, obviously known in Impact Wrestling as Jade, and Allison Kay is known as Sienna in Impact Wrestling. Obviously, neither are signed there, but they had a bit of a feud there, and so they had continued it. Mia Yim ended up picking up the victory with, I believe it's called Soul Food, which was kind of the eat defeat finishing maneuver. So good for her, and looking forward to more first round action in next week's episode of the Mae Young Classic. And I think we should get one more commercial break in.
Affordable, professional, and located on the second floor of the USQ. Electric Hair has all of your nail and hair needs covered. For an appointment, call 562-958-4522. That's 562-958-4522.
What does CSULB women's soccer and Harry Potter have in common? Not very much, except for the upcoming Harry Potter night taking place at our home game against UCI on Sunday, October 21st. There will be a plethora of activities, including Ollivander's wand shop, photo booths, and more. Harry Potter flags are on sale now. Come have a magical time showing your support for women's soccer at the beach.
The JCPenney Suit-Up event is back. With such a good turnout last year and job fairs coming up, you want to make sure you have the basic items to help build your professional wardrobe. Come check out the JCPenney Suit-Up event on Sunday, September 23rd from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., hosted by the Career Development Center. All CSULB students are welcome, and be sure to bring your student ID in order to receive the discount. There will be measurements provided for both men and women, makeovers by Sephora, and lots more. Hope to see you there.
Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the set?
Hey,
Hey, I'm Rob Flores, the host of the Golden Spotlight. Join me as I showcase a variety of guests.
I am what they refer to as an exoneree.
Hi, I'm Carla Perez, otherwise known as Rita Repulsa. My most empowerment is a television series.
As people have told me before, like, you're really funny, you should try stand-up. And that's probably how every comedian starts.
Took an EMT course 6 months later, and the next thing I know, I was a firefighter.
And I do all my own music videos, I edit my music videos, I write the concept for the most part, I direct the filming of it, etc. So I have a blast with it.
Every week, someone steps into the spotlight, and it's always a new story. So join me every Monday at 2 p.m. on 22 West Radio. You never know what we have in store.
And we are back with episode 68 of Beyond the Ropes. I'm Ethan.
I'm Rob.
As always, you can give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes. You can follow us right now on YouNow with the hashtag
Ask questions.
and on Live Me with.
Black Pro Wrestling Talk Show.
You can find us on YouTube. Go to Rob Flores' YouTube page, YouTube channel, and you'll find all 65 plus videos
Let's hear about
there.
your Raw.
I know you're eager to get there. Yeah, so once again, facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes is where you can find our bookings, our predictions, our videos, and so much more. So let's get into our fantasy bookings for this week because Rob and I had plenty to deliver. I noticed you posted at like midnight.
Yeah, so much homework.
Yeah. All right, so we'll get to mine. I had actually 2 fantasy booking shows this past week. I had my first pay-per-view, which was the same name as the real pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell. And then I had the Monday Night Raw fantasy booking show. So I don't know. What do you want to? What do you have any questions? What do you want to know? I guess.
Well,
Did you read all
I
my
don't
paper?
have the.
You don't have my list. All right.
Yeah.
So, did you read my bookings, both of them, or?
Yeah, but it was like a few days ago.
Okay, so there were 2 I guess, well, let's see, I don't want to go through everything, but we can talk about the main points. You mentioned the Undisputed Era were being booked strong. Yes, they are. They ended up winning their Hell in a Cell 8-man tag team match against the New Day and Pete Dunne. So I think all are great talents and all are being utilized, I think, in an appropriate way. And there's definitely going to be more story building to come in the next few weeks regarding all those individuals. So that was kind of the start of my show. You predicted that we would see a new Raw Women's Champion. You predicted that on last week's episode, and you were right. There is a new Raw Women's Champion by the name of Alexa Bliss, but she didn't do it alone because now she has a bit of some support. Obviously, Alicia Fox was already by her side, but now we got the debuting of Lacey Evans. So we got the Goddess, the Captain, and the First Lady as a bit of a faction there. So that can continued on Monday Night Raw for my fantasy booking. Let's see, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defeated Reigns and Rollins, so I'm sure you're happy about Reigns losing there. I don't know what your hatred towards him is, but that's what happened. And then we had some Intercontinental Championship first round matches that concluded. Andrade advanced, as well as Aleister Black. And then we kind of had a continuation on my Raw show. The main event was a fatal 4-way match, and as I mentioned earlier, it kind of ended very similarly to the real main event of the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view in a no contest after the Undisputed Era got involved, assaulting everyone involved and getting the last laugh. So that was the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view in a very undetailed nutshell there. And then I also posted that WWE must have seen my fantasy booking from the Universal Championship match inside Hell in a Cell because it was a strange coincidence there. Alright, so do you remember anything from the Raw show that you wanted to bring up, or?
You got a new authority figure.
Yeah, I
Not
told
the
you.
one I thought, but okay.
I told you it was a unique opportunity last week when Mike Kanellis ended up winning the Battle Royal And at the end of the show, we revealed he is the new co-general manager, along with Kurt Angle. So we got some interesting things planned up. I've got ideas for the next 2 months already. And I already announced our next pay-per-view, happening in 3 weeks, October 3rd, I believe, by the name of WWE Uprising. So, and we are set to have a new Universal Champion. We're going to have a rematch with those 4 guys. Undisputed Era are banned in that match. So, hopefully, we are guaranteed, I'm going to promise we are guaranteed we're going to have a new champion by the end of the night. We got a new IC champion. Aleister Black is the new Intercontinental Champion. However, we already found out his number 1 contender at the Uprising pay-per-view, Tommaso Ciampa, after he attacked him. So the last couple of weeks, if you've been following along, Ciampa's kind of been demanding a title opportunity, and he finally gets it, thanks to Stephanie McMahon. And he will get it at the Uprising event in 3 weeks. I don't know any other big matches. Next week we'll get more Seth Roman against Kevin and Sami in singles matches, so that should be good. And those are kind of the big points from that. Undisputed Era laid out New Day and Pete Dunne, so they just keep dominating the Raw division, so we'll see where that goes, because again, more matches will be announced on Monday for the Uprising pay-per-view on Sunday, October 3rd. So that's Sunday, October 7th. Sunday, October 7th. Got my dates mixed up there. But that's happening in less than 3 weeks. So be sure to go to facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes to find out more there. Now we have a few minutes. Let's get into yours. You're building your pay-per-view. Is that happening this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought so. So you have your WWE Monarchy pay-per-view. You want to talk about that?
There will be, new royalty soon.
New royalty?
Yeah. I don't know off the top of my head yet.
Oh my goodness! You don't have this plan. You gotta see. You're like Vince here.
It's
You're
a lot
planning
of
things.
names.
You're planning things last minute here. That sounds like a lot like WWE writing there. You gotta build like NXT, where you're building months in advance. But all right, there you go. So we're gonna have WWE Monarchy this weekend.
Yep.
It's gonna be on Sunday. So we'll see your pay-per-view.
Various storylines going on with each different...
There's a King of the Ring tournament as well as a Queen of the Ring tournament.
Yep.
There's also a United States Championship tournament.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And right now it's in question tag and heavyweight. There's nothing going on yet.
I don't understand
it's
how
building up everything.
Okay, so I hope that the King of the Ring... I don't know what's going on with the WWE
The
Championship.
King gets a shot at the heavyweight.
That's what I was thinking. There's going to be some type of... Okay, so
yeah,
that's...
the King and the Queen automatically... It's like Money in the Bank kind of.
Cool. We're going to have... Lana's your champion.
Yeah.
So, and she demanded that she be named Queen of the Ring, correct?
She wants to, but no, it didn't happen. It's a funny segment that she was in.
Yeah, she was in a funny segment. I don't remember exactly what it was. So, Dean, for the 3rd week in a row, has been background character to Renee Young, and in fact, he ate spaghetti this week.
Yep.
Sitting next to, or across the room from Drew Carey. So, I don't know where this was. Was this at a restaurant? Was this backstage? But
yeah, it was backstage. They happen to have
why
a
was
restaurant.
Carey there? Why was...
Hey, somehow you got to incorporate Snoop Dogg in yours, remember?
I mean, I don't really have to.
He's on your roster.
So was like 25 other people I haven't even mentioned yet. And I probably won't mention because I don't know what to do with them. We have over 100 individuals involved. But we'll figure that out. Randy Orton is back. He won his match, correct? Against... Who's his opponent? I don't remember his opponent. I know he had a segment with Ron Simmons and Fandango. He's carrying a box of pizza. So is Fandango like the official spokesperson for these?
No, he's a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, he was a Ninja Turtle this week. Okay, Bobby Roode was in a match and he lost against Curtis Axel, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of an upset there. Unpredictable, so that's good. The King's crown was stolen. Who was stealing the king? So how did Booker T and Nigel McGuinness not see that the crown was stolen? Are they like
Commercial break, you know,
like-
they get distracted. It
They're-
got replaced by a Burger King crown.
Oh my goodness! So now you have sponsors all over the place. I don't know where you're getting these sponsors from. But yeah, you clearly have a lot going on in your show as
But
well.
there's a special condition added to the United States Championship match.
What was? Did you reveal it?
Hornswoggle-sized ladders must be used.
That's right. I was at the end of the show. I'm confused at how exactly that's gonna happen. So we're gonna have. You didn't announce any of your matches for the pay-per-view yet.
That's why it's brackets and stuff.
But you didn't reveal any of the brackets.
It's mystery. They're gonna.
I'm like, this is like the worst. This is the worst build-up to a pay-per-view I've ever seen. I don't know what's gonna happen, which I guess is a good thing and bad thing.
And just knowing that it's gonna be tiny ladders. How are they gonna get to the championship belt if they're suspended in the regular height that it always is suspended?
I don't know. Your show is going off the rails. You have Broken Matt Hardy or Broken Matt Hardy there, talking about Mark Henry. Mark Henry, I don't think has appeared on television. Maybe he has. I don't know. You have Goldust getting involved with Booker T once again. Braun Strowman and Big Show just destroyed the ring. Somehow Tony Nese and Buddy Murphy get involved in that. So interesting stuff going on both our fantasy bookings, which once again, you can give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/BeyondTheRopes. I know I'm promoting it a lot, but we have been putting in a lot of effort, and it does take time to post these because we have to fill up so much text in these fantasy bookings because we put in a lot of effort here. Any last minute things before we send off here for the week? I don't think I have anything else. Next week we have Monday Night Raw to look forward to. I don't remember if any matches were announced. There was no... Oh! Super Showdown. The Undertaker is going to be joined by Kane. So Kane is actually... The mayor of Knox County is going to appear in Australia.
He received a donation?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, he has a safety foundation in his city.
Oh, awesome.
WWE donated $100,000.
Oh, wow, that's really cool. So good for him. So Mayor Kane, it's not gonna be Mayor Kane, but it'll be Demon Kane joining the Undertaker against Triple H, and Shawn Michaels will be in Triple H's corner. So I think we've just about covered the main topics for this week. So much to look forward to next week. But until next time, thank you for tuning in for Beyond the Ropes. Once again, I'm Ethan.
I'm Rob.
And this episode has just been too sweet.